Hi, welcome to Abbey Pilates. This is a very beginner-friendly class. I'm here to help you get your breath in tune with your body. All right, we're going to stand with our shoulders down, our legs parallel and hip-width apart. Take a big inhale. On the exhale, duck your chin, round forward your shoulders, pull the knees outward toward the pinky toes and slowly roll down toward the ground. At the bottom, take another big inhale. Exhale, tuck the tail, pull the pubic bone toward your nose as you slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Head is the last to come. Let's pull the shoulders back and the head down. Big inhale. And exhale, tuck the head, hinging down, rolling one vertebrae at a time. Fingertips tap the floor. Inhale at the bottom. Fill your lungs with air. Exhale, tuck the tail toward your nose, rounding up one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders pull back and down. Head lifts tall one more time. Big inhale. And exhale. Close the ribs by deflating the lungs. The head goes down one vertebrae at a time. Relaxed arms, tap the floor. Big inhale. Exhale, tuck the tail as you close the rib cage and roll up one vertebrae at a time. Taking your time to come up, the shoulders pull back and down. The head comes last, pulling your navel toward your spine. We're going to take our hands to our hips. And instead of rolling down, we're going to hinge. We're going to shoot our bum straight back. Keep our back nice and flat. Inhale down, opening up the rib cage just slightly. Exhale, growing very tall. Inhale, sticking the booty and the chest out just slightly. We want to feel like we're lifting our tail in the back, holding the belly away from the floor. Then you exhale to stand up, growing tall through your spine without creeping up those shoulders. Inhaling down, opening up through the hamstrings. Exhale, squeezing the glutes to rise up. Inhale, tail lifts, chest sticks slightly out. Exhale, close the rib cage. Shoulders are down out of the ears. Squeeze the glutes at the top. Last one. Inhale the tail away from the body. You're really stretching through your hamstrings. Legs are reaching long. Exhale, squeeze the hamstrings and the glutes to stand up. We're going to go right down to our mat. We're going to all fours. We're going to rock forward and back gently to feel that pressure through our wrists. To take away pressure from your wrists, you push into your fingertips. Then your hand muscles can help support the wrist, and it's not just all of your body weight right in that wrist joint. Now, we're going to pause. Make sure your hips and your knees are lined up and your hands are right underneath your shoulders. We're going to reach the right arm long, inhaling it up. Exhale, bring it down. Then we switch, pushing into the left knee as we lift the left elbow, and then we bring it back down. Exhaling. Inhale the arm up. Exhale the arm down. Now we're trying not to rock from side to side through our body. Our entire core is nice and tight. You'll notice as you take one hand off the mat that you have to push into the opposite hand and knee, lowering back down. So when my left hand lifts, my left knee and right hand are pressing hard into the floor to help keep me balanced. Exhale, reaching without the shoulder coming toward the ear, just the elbow going up. Inhale up nice and tall. We exhale down, one more each side. Inhale, belly to spine. Exhale, set those lats. Inhale up. Exhale, lower down. Now, we're going to reach the left leg long, just the left leg. And we're going to flex the back heel, lowering and lifting the left leg. Inhale down, exhale up. Your shoulders are still down out of your ears. Your belly is pulled in tight. Your spine is reaching nice and long. We lift and tap with a straight long leg without collapsing through the core. Lift and tap. We've got 5. I often see people trying to really go outside of their range. We want to stay within our range, pushing ourselves to the end range, but not going so far that there's a ton of movement through our core. For 3, 2, you can feel spine to head reaching. And last one, we hold. Point the back toe. Draw a little circle behind you on the wall. 3, this is all nice and controlled. 2, 1, and 5 the other way. Lifting up and around while we hold the belly in. Don't let that belly fall out. 3, 2, and 1. Left knee comes in. We're going to exhale the right heel away, reaching your spine nice and long still. Exhale up, lower down. So as you lift that right leg, you lift through the back of the knee, and we're making sure that we're not changing that shape like this. Instead, our hips are square, our tail stays shooting straight back away from our body. We have a nice neutral spine, and we lift through the leg, not by changing our shape. For 5, and tap. For 4, also resisting leaning over to that left leg. 3, push hard into your left knee and your right hand to help you stay at the midline, weight in the middle. Last one, we point the right toe, 5 little circles. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The other direction. For 5, reach that back leg as far away as you can. 2, and 1. We're going to take the knees nice and wide, sink back into child's pose, opening up the chest, opening up the hips, releasing our tail, pulling our belly into our spine. Take a big inhale into the rib cage and exhale. We let the hips go, releasing the lower back as well. We're going to lie down on our right side. So you're coming to your right side on your mat. We're going to hold our head up with our hand. We're going to pull the rib cage off the floor. And all we're going to do is lift that top left knee. So I have my knees just slightly lower than my hips, and I have my feet pulled in. We're going to lift the rib cage, lift the left knee, hold the rib cage up as the left knee slowly comes down. Exhaling up, inhaling to tap. So really take your time to get into your breath. As you use your breath, you want to make sure your rib cage is closing on the exhale. Your belly is pulling in towards your spine, and that you have a gentle Kegel you're holding down low. The sensation of a Kegel is that of, it's the same as stopping your P flow. Inhale down, shoulders are out of the ears. Exhale, lift and hold. We're not rushing through. 4 more. Exhale for 4, and inhale down. For 3, making sure that we're lifting the knee but not rocking backwards. We want to make sure hips and shoulders are nice and stacked. For 2, inhale. Exhale, lift. Last one, we hold. We're going to reach the left leg away. We're going to square those hips up, making sure both hips have headlights on them that are facing directly forward. And then we're going to lift through the glute, tap it down. Right here, we lift and hinge at the hip and back down. We don't want to sink into the mat and squeeze our oblique. We're using just that left cheek. Exhale, lift right here. Keep this long. Inhale down. For 5, I'll take my arm back so you have a better visual. You should be here. For 4, and tap. Length here, rib cage through the right side, lifting off the floor. 3, and tap. Length through the leg, length through the spine. This is last one. We're going to reach the leg forward with a pointed toe. Flex the left foot. Exhale it back. Your left leg should feel heavier than it actually is, just from holding it up. Exhaling into a long spine. We're still nice and stacked, pointing the left leg forward, just until your hamstring allows. If your range is smaller than mine, that's okay. What we don't want to happen is you're bringing the left leg forward, then your hamstring gets tight, and so you're rounding your spine. Keep your spine reaching nice and long. We want everything to remain nice and still. Pointing forward, exhale, press back. Let's do about 3 more. Inhale to reach. Exhale it away. Still trying to lift through the right side. For 2, spine is reaching long. And inhale. Exhale. Last one. We're going to reach both legs long. I'm lying down now onto that bottom arm. My left arm is here for support. I am going to just try to lift my legs 1 or 2 inches, tap them back down. The way that I'm lifting my legs is going to be from the inside of my right leg, from my adductor. So I want to try to lift using that right inner thigh and hold, and then inhale to release. Exhale, belly to spine, shoulders down. Closing the rib cage, deflating the lungs. Inhale to tap. Exhale, lift, squeeze, hold. Inhale down. Remember, your right leg is doing all the work. Don't let the left leg try to lift to help the right leg. The right leg is lifting the left. For 2. And last one. We lift both legs. We're going to squeeze the left leg up nice and high, and we're going to try to just pull the right leg toward the left. Just a gentle squeeze and release, squeeze and release, still lifting the right side off the floor. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relaxing the body, pulling the knees in toward your chest, taking a breath here, big inhale, exhale, let it all go. We're going to sit up to rotate onto our other side. We're lying on our left side now. We're going to support the head with the left hand. You have a just gentle angle here where your hips to knees and then your knees to feet are going to make a little bit of a triangle. We're going to go ahead and lower the shoulders, lift through the left rib cage, exhaling, deflating the lungs to lift the right knee. We inhale back down. Exhale to lift without rolling back. Don't roll back to get that range. Inhale down. My clients all the time, they lift their leg up and they want to lift it higher, so they roll back. You're not getting any more range in your hip. We want it all to be right in that right glute, lifting, rotating through the hip, and right back down, squeezing those heels together. Take the chance to feel what it feels like to close the lungs, deflate the lungs completely, really pulling the rib cage in, pulling the belly toward your spine, keeping a nice neutral spine. Your tailbone is reaching away. For 2, inhale to tap. Last one. We lift, lift, lift. Perfect. Then we're going to take the right leg away, making sure that our hips are stacked. They're nice and square. Our headlights are facing right forward. The shoulders are down out of the ears. Now right into your glute. You lift and lower. without sinking through the left side. So we want to have zero movement through the left side as we lower and lift the right leg. We also want minimal movement through the right side. We don't want to be cinching the waist here because we want it all to be in our glute. We want our core to stay nice and stabilized. Inhale down. It should be as if you're reaching your right leg away, away, away from your body as you lift, because we don't want to be squeezing that right side body in tight. For 5. Inhale down and tap. Exhale up for 4, still holding that gentle Kegel, and tap. All the air deflates for 3, and inhale down. Exhale up to lift. Hold that lift. Take a big inhale. And exhale, reach the right leg away. We inhale the leg forward now. Exhale, flex the foot. Slide the heel back. Inhale, point forward. Exhaling to flex, reaching the right leg long out of our body. We're still holding the right and left sides of our body nice and long. Exhale to reach it back. Shoulders are down out of the ears. Inhale forward. Exhale. Trying to keep that ankle as high as your hip. Don't let it drop as you move the leg. You might be using that left knee up against the floor. You might be able to feel this in your left glute as well. That's great. We want both hips working here. You also might notice on one side, you might have hamstring tightness. That's okay, as long as you're staying within your own range and you aren't curling that tail as the right leg comes forward. When the right leg shoots forward, we open up the hamstring, reach the leg long. 2 more for 2. Inhale into a long spine. Exhale, reach into the hip work. Inhale forward, reach the hamstring nice and long. Exhale, reach it back. We're going to point the right toe. We're going to bring the knee in. Okay, we are going to go up onto our hands and knees one time for a few cat-cow. Inhaling, the chest open, the tail up. Exhaling to scoop. Inhale, shoulders down and tail lifts. Exhale to scoop. And last one here. Inhale to lift. Exhale, scooping and rounding through your spine. That should feel delightful. Pulling the knees in. We're going to go onto our backs. Grab behind the knees. Tuck the tail to roll down. Once you're on your back, we're going to reach those fingertips like a triangle right at our hips. Feet are going to be hip width apart. We're heavy in our feet. Make sure they're not sliding away. Now we're going to take a big inhale into the rib cage. Flare the ribs. Exhale, close the ribs. And pull the belly button down to your spine. The next one, we're going to imprint our spine. So we're going to inhale into our rib cage. Shoulders are out of the ears. Exhale, close the rib cage. Press your spine into the mat as you pull your pubic bone towards your nose. And relax the tail. Take a big inhale into your ribs. Exhale, press the low back into the floor as you tuck your tail and pull towards your nose. You should feel like your fingertips are lifting. And inhale into the ribs. Inhale, nice and wide. Exhale, close the ribs, deflate the lung, imprint the spine, pulling the pubic bone up toward the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, last one. Just a pelvic tilt. Coming back to a neutral spine. So you're going to relax your tail so that it's heavy into the floor. The small of your back should be lifted from your mat. Take a big inhale. And then exhale, we tuck the tail. Roll up one vertebrae at a time, nice and slowly into a bridge. Inhaling at the top. Exhale, deflate the lungs completely and slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time, tapping the floor again. Tail releases. Inhale. This time we tuck the tail. We roll up one vertebrae at a time. At the top, think about your knees pulling away from your body, over your toes, as you press into your heels, lifting the glutes. Inhale. Exhale, close the ribs. Take it down one vertebrae at a time. Make sure those shoulders are nice and relaxed. And you have that pelvic tilt to start your next one. Exhale, tilt the pelvis toward your nose. Reach the knees up and away. Press the heels into the floor to lift the hips open. You should feel a stretch through your quads and your hips, and the whole backside of your body should be turned on. Inhale. Exhale, close the ribs, roll it down one vertebrae at a time. Tail is the last to touch. One more time. Tuck the tail. We roll up. Shoot the knees away from the body, growing your spine as long as possible. From the top, we're going to reach our hands to the ceiling. We want to make sure our shoulders aren't at our ears. We're not doming. The shoulders are squeezed down. Once we're here, we're going to lift and lower the heels. Inhale down. Exhale. Rib cage, of course, deflating on the exhale. Belly pulling to spine. 5 more. For 5, 4, shoulders still out of those ears. 3, squeezing the glutes for 2, pulling those knees away. Last 1. Keep the heels lifted as you slowly roll down. Tail is the last to tap. We're going to bring our fingertips back to our pelvis. So you're going to have one hand on each hip, just like before. You're going to let the right knee fall away. We're going to exhale, squeeze the knee back in. As you let the knee fall away, you're going to keep the rest of your core still. We don't want to be dropping toward the floor. The only thing that's dropping is the right knee. Then you exhale. It should feel like your abdomen is pulling toward the midline as you use your adductor to lift the right leg. So the inner thigh and your right set up abdominals. Inhale out. Exhale, pull it back up. You'll notice I'm not dropping all the way to the floor. That's because once I get to a certain point, my body has trouble holding it. So you want to make sure that your knee's only falling out as much as your body can handle, and it might be a little bit more every time. That's okay too. You just want to keep that core nice and solid. We're in a neutral position. Small of your back is lifted. Exhaling, inhaling out. We're going to do just one more here. Inhale the knee away and exhale to pull it back in. We switch to the left side. Take those hands back to that perfect spot. Inhale the left leg away, slightly pushing into the left foot to help us. We want to make sure that we feel all of our body weight right at the tail. Nothing in the small of your back, no imprinted spine. Inhale the left leg away, exhale, pull it back in. You should feel those really low next to your pelvis bone muscles working, your deep transverse abdominals. Inhale out, spine is still long, exhale, pull the knee back in. Closing the rib cage toward each other. We're knitting our corset in nice and tight each time. 3 more for 3. Staying in your range, keeping your hips nice and even for 2. This is your last one. Inhale that leg out. Exhale the knee up. We're going to take the hands behind the head. Now relaxing all of our body weight into our heels, keeping our knees at the sky. We're going to drop the shoulders down out of the ears. Take a big inhale, a slight arch in the spine, then exhale, tilt the pelvis, Lift the chest toward the sky without yanking on our neck. Just a lift. We inhale down, return the tail back. Exhale, tuck the tail toward the nose, deflating the lungs to lift the chest. Inhale down. We don't need a huge range to feel work. Exhale, pubic bone to nose. Lift the chest. We just need it all to be in our abdominals. Your head is resting in your hands. It shouldn't be super hard on your neck because your hands are helping to lift your head. And if you are experiencing neck pain in the first few times that you are taking class, not neck pain, I should say, but your neck is getting tired easily, that's okay. You'll notice the more classes you take, the easier it is to hold your neck up doing mat work. So just keep trying to do it correctly. Inhale and then exhale. Close, pull the pelvic bone towards your nose, lift the chest, then relax. Your neck muscles, just like the rest of your body, just need time to get stronger. 2 more. Inhale the tail down, press it into the mat. Exhale, tuck the tail to your nose, lifting the chest. Last one. Inhale the tail down. Closing by imprinting your spine and lifting the chest to the ceiling. Head is in line with your body. Bring your whole head down. We're going to return for now to a neutral spine. Then we're going to take our left leg to tabletop. I'm going to have you exhale, imprint your spine. So I'm pulling my pubic bone to my nose and I'm pressing my whole entire back into the ground. Then we're going to exhale, reach the left leg away. Inhale, pull it in. Exhale, reach the left leg away. Inhale, pull it in. Both sides of your body are reaching long, just the left leg is moving. Inhale right back to tabletop. Exhale it out. Inhale it right in. For 6. Okay, we want to make sure that our belly is pulling down into the mat. The rib cage is completely closing. The navel is not popping up. Look, we've lost our imprint. Our belly's pushing upward. That is called back pain, and we don't want to do that. Tuck the tail, imprint the spine, reach the leg away, 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 out of your hip socket, and inhale it back. For 2, let's go with 2. Sometimes I lose count, that's okay. Inhale in. Exhale, reach, last one. And pull it right back to tabletop. We're going to take our right shoulder toward our left knee by pressing our left elbow into the ground. We take a gentle twist and inhale down. You're just trying to lift that right shoulder off the ground. It doesn't have to be a giant movement. Exhale to come up. Inhale down. Now I want you to get the sensation that as you exhale and lift, your right rib cage is coming over to kiss your left hip. 5 more for 5. And back down nice and slow. For 4. Now is where you want to check, are your elbows really wide? Is your neck super relaxed? We want this to be through our core, not through our neck and our shoulders. 2, imprinting your spine, your low back, pressing hard into the mat as you move. Your left leg goes to the floor. You release your tail, reset those shoulders down nice and low. Right leg comes to tabletop. Now we imprint the spine by exhaling, closing the ribs, tucking the tail under. Take a big inhale, then on the exhale, we reach the right leg away. Inhale, back up to tabletop. Let's actually move those fingertips right by our hips. Exhale, reach away. Inhale in. Those fingertips by your hips, we press into the floor. And that really helps us use our core. It also gives our body more support to reach that leg out, out, out. Inhale in. Still scooping the back. We are imprinting the spine, pressing that lower back into the mat as hard as you can. Exhale away for 4. Pulling it back in for 3. Trying not to take any stress into our necks for 2. This is last 1. Core is tight and strong, holding that imprint, reaching the leg right back up. Now we take the hands behind the head, get into a perfect tabletop with the right leg. We imprint the spine by tucking the tail under. Take a big inhale. On the exhale, we close the ribs as we lift the left shoulder toward the right knee. Inhale back down. Exhale, imprinting the whole time. We want to hold that imprint. And we are scooping left shoulder toward right hip. It's as if they're kissing in the front. Your abdominals are interlocking in the front. Your navel is pulling down into the mat. For 4. Right back down. Pull hip and rib together for 3 without moving the legs. Inhale. Exhale, use your imprint so that back is pushing deep into the earth. Twist and lift. Keeping the elbows wide, we take it last 1. Right elbow pressing into the floor as the left elbow lifts. We lower right back to the earth. We take the knees out nice and wide. We roll the shoulders down as we rock from side to side through the knees. One big inhale, one big exhale. We're going to roll onto our stomach to finish with some extension. Once you're on your stomach, you're going to take your hands right in front of your face and stack them there. We're going to bend the knees, heels are together, toes are apart. We're going to lift our belly off the mat. So we never want to have the sensation that we're pushing our belly down to the ground to move and lift our body. We're always pulling our belly into our spine. Inhale, flare the ribs. Exhale, closing the ribs. Lifting the chest. Inhale back down. Notice I said we're lifting the chest. Exhale to lift. That's because we are not lifting the chin. There should be no neck movement whatsoever. Exhale, slide the shoulder blades down. Lifting the chest. Squeezing your extensors. Inhale. Exhale, shoulders down. Back squeezing tightly. As you lift the chest, pubic bone is pressing into the floor. Inhale. Exhale, pubic bone presses, belly to spine, chest lifts, head stays in line with your spine. We're also using those hands to help us lift. Exhale, we use the backside to lift first. If you need to use your hands a little bit at the top, that's great as well. We're going to do one more here. Inhale down. Exhale, close your rib cage, shoulders go down. We're moving nice and slow. We're in full control of all the work we're doing. We're going to take our forehead down to the mat. Forehead is pressing into the mat. Once your forehead is pressing into the mat, you make sure your legs have stayed still. Your arms are goalposts. We have double 90s on each side of us. We're going to laterally lift those elbows. So pull the belly in. Exhale, press your pubic bone and your forehead into the mat as you lift the elbows. We tap the elbows down. Exhale, squeezing the scapula together behind us. Inhale, tap them back down. Exhale, shoulders go down, elbows go up, and we tap. Still squeezing the heels together, drawing the navel away from the mat. We are not in our traps. You're not in your neck. You're not in your big shoulder muscles up high. We are squeezing the shoulder blades together in the back, lowering down. For 2, and tap. And last one. Arms come down. We're going to bring our hands right back in front of our face. They're stacked again. Reach the legs long and straight without pushing your belly button toward the floor. Still pulling it into your spine. You lift the legs up and away. So belly's in your spine. Legs are reaching off the floor, away from your body. Pubic bone pressing down. Head is going to go right in line with the spine, and we're going to lift the back of the knee without a ton of movement through the rest of our body. Lifting and lifting, alternating those lifts, keeping the shoulders out of the ears. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we open the legs, close the legs. Open and close. So it's like we're zipping up the inner thighs, squeezing the legs back together. We are keeping the knees and the feet off the ground. So just the upper thigh is on your mat. Exhale together. Inhale out. 5. Reach away. 4. Shoulders down. Can you get your whole belly off the mat? 3. 2. And last one. We are going to pull our knees up, coming to a seated position. I'm going to have my right leg tucked underneath me. My left leg is going to cross over. Once my left leg is crossed over, I'm going to reach my shoulders down, my chest up tall, driving my right hand toward my right foot, opening up toward my left shoulder. Big inhale into the rib cage. Exhale, exhale, sinking deeper into your hips. Inhale. Exhale, let it all go through the left hip, through your thoracic. Eyes in line with your spine. Inhale gently to return. Switching out your legs. Your left leg comes underneath you. Your right leg crosses over. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Should already be feeling a little bit of a stretch for some. Left hand is going to go toward left foot as we twist. Exhale. Open the right shoulder backward. We're using that pressure on the right leg to help engage that twist. Growing in our spine. Exhaling to let go. Head, neck, and shoulders as relaxed as possible. One more exhale. Inhaling. Slowly we come back to center. We're going to take our legs wide to a comfortable place. Once they're wide, we're going to bring our fingertips forward, lean our chest forward. So with a lot of beginners, what I see is that their hamstrings are so tight that as soon as they bring their hands forward, they're already rounding. They're not able to lean the chest forward. So if that's you, what I want you to do is keeping those legs wide, take your hands by your hips, and just try to lift the chest. We're lowering and lifting the chest with a flat back, just a few inches, just getting a stretch through those hamstrings, trying to enter into a stretch into the inner thigh. If you're flexible here, your hands are in front, and you're leaning the chest forward, hinging through your hips. Inhaling to come up, growing long through your spine, exhaling to lean and hinge forward. And 2 more times. Inhale up, shoulders down, bellies in still, and release, trying to keep the knees at the ceiling. Last one. Inhale up, and exhale. Reaching all the way forward. Okay, to finish, we're going to go ahead and finish with a few breaths. So we're going to lie down on our back, legs reaching long. We're going to take one hand to our rib cage, right at heart center, and the other one to our belly button. We're going to take a big inhale, relaxing those shoulders. Exhale, ribs close. All of your air on the inhale goes into your rib cage. You get lateral expansion. And exhale, whew. Close the ribs, draw your belly toward your spine. A couple more breaths just like that. Nice expansion through the rib cage. Fill your lungs completely so you feel the mobility, you feel the stretching through your ribs. Exhale, deflate the lungs completely. Draw your belly button down. You should feel both hands sinking toward the midline. Last one. Inhale. Everything lifts through our hands. And exhale. Everything is closing. Everything is lowering and sinking. Reach both hands out nice and wide. Take a breather here. You have completed class. Thank you guys so much for joining me. That was a great beginner class. Even if you're not super beginner, I hope that you were able to connect more with your body. And if you are a beginner, this is a great place to start so that you can activate your body correctly, really paying attention to your breath and your body movements. Thank you so much for being with me on Abbey Pilates, and I'll see you at our next class.